Oh, I love thirds. 3 is the magic number.
I love Donkey and Fiona and Puss in Boots.
It's kind of fun to watch Fiona grow up.
Now I feel like I'm part of the group.
Just open to go on adventure with them.
The cast of Shrek is back.
Okay. You have a very full day filling in for the king and queen. There are several functions that require your attendance, sir.
Great. Let's get started.
Meet the cast of Shrek the Third, with Mike Myers as Shrek.
Hey, you are one funny kitty cat.
Eddie Murphy as Donkey.
Smiles, everyone! Smiles!
Cameron Diaz as Fiona.
Move it, go, 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 go.
Antonio Banderas as Puss in Boots.
Olé!
Julie Andrews as Queen Lily. Yeah! And Rupert Everett as Prince Charming.
What does a prince have to do to get a drink around here?
That Charming makes me hotter than July.
Ew!
Good morning to you and you and you.
New to Shrek the Third is comedian John Krasinski as the smart-mouthed Lancelot.
Unhand me, monster.
And Grammy-winning superstar Justin Timberlake as Arthur.
If you ask me, I think the old Shrekker here could stand to skip a meal or 3, if you know what I'm saying.
Young Justin Timberlake, who is bringing sexy back all over America.
Have you guys been slaving away in the Shrek world?
We have been.
Artie is a quintessential teenager, I think. He's not the coolest kid in school. All of a sudden, he goes from being sort of an outcast to, Shrek shows up and says, hey, you're the next king.
And you're gonna be king. Yeah, right.
Justin came in, he asked a lot of really good questions about Artie. He helped us figure out who Artie was, and he lit him up.
I'm building my city, people. Want to rock and roll.
Artie's kind of a smart aleck, so that plays on the whole film. And Shrek is obviously short-tempered, and so they butt heads for a lot of the film.
Help! I've been kidnapped by a monster trying to relate to me.
Artie and Shrek are on their way back to Far, Far Away, and they come across Merlin. Merlin happens to be an ex-high school teacher that Artie's familiar with, who used to teach magic.
Ah! Oops. Are you sure this is a good idea?
Ow! Oh, great! Oh, no.
An exciting new member of the cast is Monty Python's Eric Idle as the rusty magician Merlin.
Alacraticious, expeditious, zoom me zoom zoom.
Merlin's normally this Welsh magician, from the dark powers. He's a very mystical person in the Grail and all those legends. So then to reduce him into some kind of broken down old high school teacher of magic is, I think, very funny.
Technically, I was merely a victim of a level 3 fatigue, and at the request of my therapist and the school authorities, I have retired to the tranquility of nature to discover my divine purpose.
Merlin the Magician, played by the wonderfully talented genius Eric Idle from Monty Python. He turns me into Puss and turns Puss into the donkey. So I'm kind of like in the cat, and Antonio Banderas is in the donkey, and it's very funny.
Oh no! I've been abracadabbered into a fancy feasting second-rate sidekick.
Oh.
Even without listening to the voice, you can tell that's not quite Puss. Oh, that must be Donkey.
Whoa! Yeah, and I have your badge number 10 can.
My relationship with Donkey will be always bad, though we love each other very much.
So you two think this is funny?
Creates a tremendous amount of comedy. I like the body of my cat very much.
I know, everything's a little fruity in the loops right now, but what happened is, we went to high school, and the boat crashed, and we got bippity-boppity-boop by the magic man.
The fighting force of Fairy Tale Princesses is voiced by the multi-talented Amy Sedaris and the sharp-tongued ladies from Saturday Night Live, Amy Poehler, Sherry O'Terry, and Maya Rudolph.
A solid group of performers, comedians, and they're all amazing.
Are you ready for notes?
Yeah.
Ouch!
They're incredible at improv. They just come with a Rolodex of ideas. So you give them a little and they give back so much more.
Rapunzel sort of has, her arc here, maybe. I love it! Maybe a death scene? I love it!
Sleeping Beauty sleeps all the time, and Rapunzel is sort of a traitor in a way. Snow White sings eternally, and Cinderella just wants everything to be squeaky clean and nice.
Gotta clean, bright and shiny kittens. This is nice, really nice.
Princesses are kind of
the early diva, I would say.
We need to talk.
They're spoiled. They don't have a lot of responsibility. They never really had to do anything for themselves. And Fiona is quite the opposite.
Okay, girls, from here on out, we're gonna take care of business ourselves. Fiona knows that she has to sort of defend the kingdom, and the girls are sort of very much ready to just sort of lay down and play princess. What are you doing?
Waiting to be rescued.
You've got to be kidding me. They haven't yet realized what they're capable of.
They decide that if something's going to happen, you know, it's up to them to make it happen. So they really take charge.
This character has been really fun to play because she gets to be a little bratty and a little bossy, but she also gets to be really fierce and strong and fun.
Shut up, Cindy.
Yeah, shut up. No, you shut up. Just stay out of this.
Having all of the famous Fable characters, it's almost like a where are they now Fable characters? You know, to bring back all of these characters you remember when you were a kid. But the humor is just so wonderful, and there's so many subtleties in the characters that makes it so much fun to watch.
I'm sorry, but this just isn't working for me.
Everything's always about you, isn't it? It's not like your attitude is helping, Snow.
All the princesses are played by great comic ladies, and I was really honored to be a part of that little group. It's pretty amazing.
To round out the supporting cast, the production team went back to high school to give their old school a new school kind of flavor.
We're here at John Burroughs High School, and they've been gracious enough to allow us to record the marching band for Shrek the Third.
Really good. It sounds great, you guys. It does. It sounds great.
A big part of our movie of Shrek the Third is a medieval high school, and we are trying to sort of populate it with real people, with people who would be in a high school, and we're kind of twisting the idea of what a high school in medieval time might have been like, and of course there's going to be a marching band. So we figured we might as well get the real thing to do the music.
Good, that's better. We got to really hold back. Here we go again. I think it's amazing. I think it's great for the kids. They've never had a recording experience like this before.
The tempo doesn't change here, so I was just waiting, like, what's it gonna be like? What is it gonna be when we have those 60 kids on stage, you know, playing this music? And they kept their cool, they kept their eye on the prize, and they nailed it.
Ready? Okay! We're headed to the top!
And some cheerleaders at a local high school were equally enthusiastic to call out a cheer for Shrek.
Getting reference footage, like going to the high school, watching the cheerleaders kind of do their thing, really gives us a good feel in the moment of, okay, cheerleaders have to be kind of bubbly, they have certain moves and poses that we know we need to hit for our animation to kind of be believable.
My stomach aches and my palms just got sweaty. Must be a high school.
Shrek is this lovable creature that's sort of really, he's part everyman, and yet he's so very different from everyman. He's just utterly lovable. He's got great common sense, and he's puzzled by life, and yet somehow he manages to make it work.
Mike brings a tremendous amount of care to this character and to this series. You know, he, of all of us, really thinks, I think, so in depth about who Shrek is, what his journey is, and how to best be true to that journey.
I know it's hard to believe with my obvious charm and good looks, but people used to think of me as a villain. It's very satisfying to be like on a subway platform or walking along the street and parents go, hey, that's the voice of Shrek, and the kids get super crazy excited. And actually, it's not even just little kids, which is nice. It's like pretty much every age group.
People come up to me all the time. I mean, more than any film, they love Shrek. They want so much to say how much it means to them.
I love you! Yeah! Oh, me too! You
go out and these little kids that know all the dialogue in a scene of a movie. That's a trip, you know, to see a little 3 or 4 year old come up and can do this whole scene, and they're doing it all proud.
Oh, come over here. All of you, give your daddy a big hug.
Every woman, since I have done this character, I love your cat. They don't say, I love Zorro anymore. You are the love of my life. As are you. I feel very proud of being part of this. If there is another one, and another one, and another one, I am more than happy.
Where is Shrek?
Shrek, you're on it. You're on
Shrek.
it. That's great.
Shrek the Third picks up right where Shrek 2 left off. Technologically, the movie is taken a huge leap. It's very, very noticeable in this film.
The attention that we put into all that kind of details is just amazing in this movie. The first Shrek, we started the animation in 1998. In a way, we have to kind of like freeze that system at that time. And then we did the same thing for Shrek 2 when we started animation in 2001, which we make it better than the first Shrek.
Fear me, if you dare.
And then for Shrek the Third, oh yeah, we have so much new things that we can put into the characters to build the system even easier and better for the animators.
Making an animated film requires a tremendous amount of technology, from the early story creation process through production, all the way through to post-production. And our job as technologists is try to find and make the greatest and latest technology and bring that to the hands of the artists to enable the filmmakers to ultimately create their vision of the film.
There are key strengths in both HP and AMD, and together they have actually been able to deliver us some products that really have put us beyond the cutting edge of where CG work is today.
Characters are still the same, but the inside technology has gotten a lot faster to work with, and so the way we work with the characters have been a lot more efficient. We've added more controls to the character as each film kind of went on, and on Shrek the Third, we really have characters that can have a lot of life to them.
That's true.
Our facial setups are now a lot faster, so we can actually go in and do a lot of iterations to kind of see the detail and kind of work with the character a lot more.
We're not sitting around waiting for stuff to happen, so we're able to make more and more creative decisions in the time that we're given on the shots, which lends to more subtle details and ultimately better animation.
If you were to look at Shrek 1, for example, you'll notice that there are very few hairstyles. They look very simple.
That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad.
We pushed it a step further on Shrek 2. If you remember, the shampoo shot looked great, but it took months, literally. On Shrek the Third, you'll see that we have many hairstyles, and it's all become more affordable in a way, so we put more of that on screen.
With soft and bouncy.
Sleeping Beauty, she has really straight, long hair. In the movie, she's funny. She keeps falling asleep. And when she wakes up, then you see all this like very snappy movement with her hair.
Huh? Who dat?
Snow White. The look of her hair is so unique. I mean, you look at her, you know she is Snow White.
I got you the biggest one because I love you the most.
Cinderella, her hair's not as long and it's all kind of like put together. When she moves, you can see a little bit of subtle movement to make it more realistic. Rapunzel has the long braid and it's so long that we really have to make sure it doesn't crash into her body when she walks.
With long hair in particular, it's very complex because you have thousands and thousands of strands. And what we've been able to do now on Shrek the Third is use our incredibly robust compute infrastructure to be able to simulate the movement of hair so that we can use it throughout the film and not on just a couple of hero shots.
We spent a lot of development in advance of the film on the clothing and not having what we used to call medieval lycra, where everything was sort of stuck to the characters. And so now you see a lot of loose sleeves, double layers, triple layers of clothing, and real fluid motion, a lot more simulation of clothing.
That's actually a very nice leotard.
Ah, thank you.
Just the amount of clothing that's done from Shrek to Shrek 2 to Shrek the Third has increased by 10 times.
It's just amazing the details of the fabric that they're wearing.
Shrek,
Yeah?
you look handsome.
Ah, come here, you.
Our costumes have become much more elaborate. The things that have prevented us from doing this in the past is just the ability to do that much computation. By using this power, that helps them tell the story.
On Shrek the Third, we used fluid solvers for a lot of the gases, steam, smoke. A lot of the magic used fluids as well as all the fire. The tricky thing with Merlin was he's supposed to be this kind of old guy that, hasn't done magic for a while.
I don't have that kind of magic in me anymore, kid. How about a hug instead?
And we had to come up with something that made him feel rusty and not perfect, but he's still Merlin, so he's like the best magician around.
We have several liquid moments, let's call them. One of them is at some point Shrek has a nightmare and he sees a baby throwing up at him, which is one of the most funny gags in the movie, but also took a lot of effects work, kind of stuff that effects people love to do.
It's funny how every Shrek we do revamp the fire system to do something very different.
Oh, shrimp, my favorite!
We shot a lot of fire reference. We had one shot where the bra catches on fire. So one of the guys, Taylor, went out and we actually bought a few bras and he set them on fire outside the building.
We're actually using a real fluid simulation to do it. We change the way we're computing volume rendering. We develop new technique to be faster, more beautiful, ta-ta-ti-ta-ti-ta-ta.
Lighting comprises about the last half of the production process, so it's a big chunk of time. The Shrek films achieve a really natural lighting, more so than pretty much any other animated film.
You the spot!
In CG, one of the things that was impossible actually to accomplish on Shrek 2 was to get a diffuse lighting simulating an overcast day.
I guess for people who don't do lighting, that may seem like, yeah, so what? But it's actually very difficult to do because you don't have the sharp shadows that give you the definition of the form. Things tend to look flat.
The technical experts told me that what I wanted to do on this one was actually possible on this one, but impossible in the previous movie.
Now we're into dual-core Opteron processors, 64-bit. With better brain in the computer, lighters can actually see more of it as they're working with it, which obviously makes things a lot easier for them.
We've been able not only to invest in our main characters, which of course look gorgeous, but also in all the secondary characters, and that was not true on previous movies. So if you were to look at the crowds in Shrek, they frankly don't look that great. In Shrek 3, it's really no longer the case.
We actually have a casting process like on the real movie, where the computer generates thousands of characters, and the director will come and say, we will pick the kind of people that kind of look right for the situation, and the kind of outfits.
I think if you look at the number and complexity of the secondary characters, those things have all gone up because of what's been enabled by HP and AMD technology.
It's usually very challenging to deal with these really big environments. So when we're building a whole forest, there's just so much stuff on screen that lighters have to be able to wrangle all this complexity. And of course our computers get more and more powerful, so we could put more and more things into our images.
We get a quicker turnaround, we can do more iterations, and we can make it better. It also allows for sort of the creative appetite that inevitably happens, and that you want to add more characters, you want to add more environments, which make it all look very beautiful and lush. We need the power to actually turn that over so that we can make it look just right.
The users can interact with things that are just so massive. I mean, an ordinary computer would just...
I knew I should have got that warranty.
Again, it just all comes down to more and more computation, trying to simulate more and more of the physical world. The amount of computing power we now have available with multi-core CPUs and getting those onto the render farm, that's a big advantage for us.
The render farm for us has grown in terms of compute power tremendously over the years. We had 5 million render hours on Shrek 1, we had 10 million render hours on Shrek 2, and we had 20 million hours on Shrek the Third.
Whoa! Yeah, wow.
I'm proud of the whole movie. Visually, the whole film will wow people. It's another step forward in storytelling. The way we believe in the world comes through in the images because they're done with such care and such attention to detail.
We continually push the state-of-the-art and the leading edge of technology, and as we solve those problems, those solutions become broadly available.
This is a sequence where before Artie can become king, he has to go search for the Holy Grail with Shrek. And they couldn't find it, so Shrek has kind of pretended a little something. And there's a few surprises waiting you. So they were camping out the scene before, and we see Artie alone sleeping in the field as the sun rises. And then he's all sleeping, and you hear Guinevere's voice off screen. Artie, Artie, Guinevere. He opens his eyes and he sees the vision of Guinevere. Artie, what are you doing? Let's get out of here. You mean it? Just you and me? Who else, kid? Now come on, we gotta go. And he walks away and he rubs his eyes. Huh? Shrek comes back in. The Grail, Artie, I found the cave. Now rise and shine. Rise and shine. You don't want some schmancy pants to get there first, do you? No, but they were already ahead of us. Not anymore. But where's Puss and Donkey as he runs to catch up? Shrek walking. Puss and Donkey. Puss and Donkey walking. Oh, they're up ahead, scutting about like they normally do. It's just normal, totally normal. They're gonna give us the old caw-caw, caw-caw, if they see anything that we should worry about, okay? Now let's just focus on the task at hand, all right? Sure, yeah, but we were lost. How'd you find it? And then Shrek walks up to a big shrub, parts the leaves. Luck's on our side, kid. And he looks up and walks towards this humongous cavern and the cave, and he goes, it's nothing. Just think of it as a giant door leading to a fire-breathing beast protecting its giant treasure. And he picks up a bucket, Karkonka, whoop, tears open an eye hole, Shakanka, Shrek, and he picks up a barrel lid and he goes, catch, puku. The weight of it pushes Artie over, Kaka. Well, at least you know what you're up against. And he hands him his fake sword, which is a pitchfork. And Artie stands up, grabs his pitchfork. You look great, kid. Thanks, Shrek. He goes, now get in there and battle the beast, grab the goblet, beat the bullies, and love thine lady, and become the king. So that way everyone knows what we're watching. And you show the inside of the cave, and it's all scary, and you see a tiny little Artie come in. Hello? Walks in a little further, looks around. Hello? 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 And he walks in slowly, looking around. It's all scary. And then you cut to bucket cam, and it's going shaky, and you just hear. And then he comes around a corner, and then there's the Holy Grail on a pedestal of rock surrounded by a pit. And he's like, Shrek, I see the Grail! And then, huh? And he turns around, there's something in here, and he doesn't know what it is. And he holds his pitchfork, I can do this, I can do this, and starts trying to defend himself with nothing that he sees. And then, and then this bony hand comes over a ridge. And then this huge shadow of a beast starts showing on the rock side of the wall. I can do this, I can do this. Very slowly, the beast emerges from around the rock, and it's very silly looking. And it's got a skull head and moss body blanket. We see antlers taped to the skull. And then it falls, and he goes, "What the heck is that?" And then slowly this creature stands back up, and you hear from underneath the costume Puss going, "What are you doing, you clumsy butto? Hey, you got the eye holes, man, do your thing." This creature hisses, and then he goes, "That didn't work so good, now what?" "I don't know, charge him!" This monster thing is running towards Artie. Artie is standing his ground, and he's getting closer and closer, and Artie gets ready for the stab, and then, whoop, he steps aside, and Donkey and Puss, as this silly creature, go, pew, right down into the hole. Shrek goes, "Hey, yay, yay." And then Shrek goes, "All right, Artie, we're to take care of business. Now go get the grail and let's go." And he sees the grail, and he runs off to get it. And then we see Puss with the skull head peer up, and then Donkey peer up. And Shrek looks at them both, and he goes, "Get back down." And then you see both their heads go, "We're sorry." And then Hamish takes over.
Straight from Dave's pitch. And Artie walks across the pit, grabs the grail. "I got it! Good going, Artie. Now let's get back and measure your head, because someone needs to be fitted for a crown." Walks off, and then from behind, a huge dragon rises up. "Artie!" Artie turns, and we see his POV as the dragon rises further and further up into frame. Huge beast drops the grail, tink, 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 and the dragon goes, "Arr!" Artie flinches, and then Shrek runs over, pushes Artie out of the way. He skids across the floor. He turns, and the dragon headbutts Shrek, who goes flying. Arr! Artie picks up the pitchfork, ready to defend himself. The dragon flames. He lifts up his makeshift shield, catches fire. He tosses it, and then the dragon starts approaching him, corners him. He looks up, stuck. The dragon's got his prey, and then his hand comes up. Bonk. Shrek pulls himself up onto the dragon's head. He grabs the horns, trying to distract the dragon, but not having much luck. And then we hear, pause. Dragon looks, and then, dragon turns back towards Artie, and then Shrek's trying to distract it, starts riding it like a crazed Scottish cowboy, and falls down, goes down the scales, flies off, hits the wall, boom, knocked out. Tail swoops, Artie jumps out of the way, and then the teeth try to grab him. Artie rolls out, cornered again, but he runs underneath the dragon's body. Dragon, huh? And he runs up the dragon escalator, up his back, and the dragon turns, but he can't get Artie. He's biting and backing into him, stalagmitey tighty thingies. Huh? Stalactitey mighty thing. Shrek comes to, sees what's going on, more like rolling and writhing and rocketing. Artie goes flying off, pitchfork sticks in a column. He's like holding on, dragon swoops his tail around, crashes, rocks fall down. Artie looks up, and dragon gets one more look at Artie and then goes with his big teeth, "Artie!" And then he goes, pulls himself out, and the dragon into the column, which collapses, rocks fall, smoke clears, and Gingy and Pinocchio are dead. Oh no, dragon is dead. Shrek looks. Artie sees the grail where he dropped it, picks it up. The Puss and Donkey remove their costume. Shrek's still in shock. "Shrek, I did it!" Beat. "You did it! Come on, we got to get back." He walks off, Shrek still in disbelief about what's happened. I bet you feel really good about this one. Sure. Why not? So you are not going to tell him the truth? We'll all be on our way home before anyone's the wiser. And they give him the hairy eyeball. Come on. There you go.
This is a day in the life at Worcestershire High. Artie at the cafeteria where he runs into a lot of the other people who are important in his life there. So here we go. Start on the little cafeteria sign. Today's gruel, cream of tripe. The sad faces, moving board down the line. Artie comes into view, looks down at his tray. It's the first slop into the bowl. All the entrails and gruel. A leg of mutton, plop. A roasted capon, plop. Yet more humble fare, plop. Ladle in. He looks up, and as the crowd parts, he sees a vision. It's Guinevere, the most gorgeous girl at school, moving in slow motion toward the counter. She lifts her bowl lovingly toward the ladle as the gruel is slopped into it. Catching this light streaming in through the windows, she loosens her gorgeous golden hair. Artie's besmitten. Even her feet are gorgeous as the gruel rains down. And the rats frolic through in slow motion like a fantasy. The chickens fly out from the background and their feathers form a curtain of love in the sun. Guinevere walks up toward Artie, still in slow motion, until, oh, hey, Artie. Artie's still in dreamland. Guinevere, look. Guinevere, we're in the same alchemy class? Whatever. Okay, well, I guess I'll see you around. Oh boy, what a loser. Walks away. Artie's lost his big chance once again. He's only got his gruel now. And he bumps right into Lancelot. If I were Guinevere, I'd get a dork restraining order. Oh, hey, Lance. Artie tries to back away only to run into Bohort and Gawain. They take his tray. This has happened before. You better stop messing with me, worm. This is your final warning, Artie. Yeah, that will make it the last one. Oh, come on, what's a little joke between brothers? You're not my brother. You're just some kid my parents took pity on. Whatever. Don't forget your place, Artie. Not very likely with you reminding me all the time. So Artie tries to get away again, but the guys block his path. Where are you going, worm? They don't see the trick. He's coming up right behind him. Actually, he's coming with me. Artie looks up. I don't need your help. But Shrek's there to stay. Take him. He belongs with the rest of the circus freaks. On the other side of the cafeteria, Puss, enjoying the attentions of the high school ladies, hears this. Leaps into action. Pardon me, ladies, but the duty, she calls. I shall return. Gets up, runs down the table, grabs a knife and fork, leaps, somersault, lands on a nice juicy brisket of beef, jumps up, latches onto a chandelier, spins around, keeps spinning around, leaps over the heads of the crowd. The washerwoman with a tray full of dishes, Puss lands, table surfs on one of the dishes, past the astonished diners. He spears a leg of mutton from an unsuspecting kid. Continues on, leaps, bounces off another leg of mutton, or something. Somersaulting through the air. Bohort and Gawain watch stunned as Puss jams a leg of mutton right into Lancelot's mouth. He lands. Ha! Who are the freaks of the circus now? Donkey's eating at the salad bar. Yeah. Who are the freaks now? Shrek looks on satisfied. Arthur's a little mortified, but everybody laughs. Lancelot, as he rips the mutton out of his mouth, sees his buddies running away, realizes he's beaten. He goes, Shrek. All right, Arthur, let's go. He looks around, but Artie's heading out the other direction. Shrek's got to come up with yet another plan. So this is a sequence where Artie refuses to be king, so Shrek and the guys are stalking him. And they're going to, they go to Guinevere's house where Artie is trying to talk to Guinevere, and they help him woo her. Here we go. Medieval neighborhood. Shrek and the guys peek out from behind a tree. Donkey falls. We see Artie behind a bush looking up at a silhouette in the balcony. Guinevere! He looks, nothing. Looks over to this rock. Shrek watches. Sees a smaller rock, picks it up. Cut inside to Guinevere's painting her toenails. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Bang! Ow! She walks out. Who's throwing rocks? Artie ducks behind the bush. Okay, I just saw you jump behind the bush. I have mace. He's hiding behind the bush. Well, how's it going, Romeo? Ooh, somebody's in love. Shh. Hear Guinevere. Hello. Artie looks. Shrek pushes him out from the bush. Whoosh. Artie? Hi, Gwen. I was just passing by and whew. Puss calls out, you must compare it to a summer day, although one that is neither too hot nor too humid. It's summer and you're hot? Oh wait, you're not hot. I mean, you are, but not like that. Thank you, I think. You are tastier than huevos rancheros. Excuse me? Huevos rancheros. Yeah, my allergies are acting up. Oh man. Just tell her what you came here to say. Artie's a little upset. Thinks about it, looks back up. Gwen, she's listening. I just wanted to tell you that when I'm in your presence, just then, poof, Lancelot and the other jocks burst into her room. Ho, ho, ho! Let's get this party started! The jocks, ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. They come in. Artie watches. Jessica, you know we're not allowed to have guests. And gee, Gwenny, you look most smoking in the moonlight. Oh, look, poor wretched Artie. Ooh, it's painful to see how hard you try. Shrek comes out. Watch it, Muttonhead. You're talking to the next king of far, far away. No, he's not. Artie, a king? More like the mayor of Loserville. Hurt. Yeah, Loserville. On account of you're a loser. Oh, Gawain, you sure smart you is. Puss jumps out. You wanna dance, you hairless apes? Then let's dance the tango. You're Artie. This is like an exclusive night maiden party. So why don't you take a hike and take your talking pets with you? They go back inside laughing. Good times. They're breaking things inside. Guinevere turns back to Artie. Good night, Artie. She gives one last look and walks in. Artie thinks, what was I thinking? Hey, it doesn't have to be this way, kid. Actually, this is the way it's always been. Not when you're king. Everyone respects a king. Yeah, no more hooking rocks to get her attention. And the ladies, they go loco en la cabeza for a man wearing a crown. Yeah, I don't look good in crowns. Well, then abolish them. You can change whatever you want when you're a king. Huh? It's laughing off screen. Probably breaking. Artie looks up, thinks. King, huh? Shrug. What have I got to lose? You're gonna love Far, Far Away. The place practically runs itself, huh?
Come on now, it's time to get up and dance the donkey dance. D-O-N-K-E-Y-Y-Y-Y. I can dance if I want to. I can shake my donkey behind. Like this. I got junk in my trunk to groove with the funk, and I'm having a real good time. Let's kick it. You can dance if you want to. First you shake your dairy ass. Put one hand on your hip and then do a dip. And move it like you just don't care. I can dance. You can dance. Everybody donkey dance. Woo! Now that's the catchy tune.
And that's the donkey dance. Okay, now it's your turn.
D-O-N-K-E-Y-Y-Y-Y.
Strut in place. Do a little jump.
funky behind. Like this. I got
Shake your behind.
with the funk, and I'm having a real good time. Let's kick it.
Wave your hands in the air. Shake your behind. Hand on hip and do a dip. Do a quick spin. And head to the left. Head to the right. Now slide to the left and slide to the right. And moonwalk. Great job. Hey, let's do it one more time on your own.
D-O-N-K-E-Y-Y-Y-Y. I can dance if I want to. I can shake my donkey behind. Like this. I got junk in my trunk to groove with the funk, and I'm having a real good time. Let's kick it. You can dance if you want to. First you shake your hairy ass. Put one hand on your hip and then do a dip. And move it like you just don't care. I can dance. You can dance. Everybody donkey dance. Woo!
Wow. Let's do that again. Can somebody come in here and work on Shrek, please?
I will see what I can do.
I'm doomed.
I feel all exposed and nasty.
Ew.
To the highest room of the tallest tower, where my princess awaits rescue from her handsome Prince Charming.
I don't know how much longer I can keep this up, Fiona.
You look handsome.
It's present time! Guys, you're really starting to bug me.
Onward, my new friends, to our happily ever afters! Don't you listen to him.
You know I love Fiona, boss, right? What I'm talking about here is you, me, my cousin's boat, an ice-cold pitcher of mojitos, and 2 weeks of nothing but fishing.
Totally oois. Yeah, totally.
Yay!
Well, it was Shakespeare, or was it Kermit, who said, "It's not easy being green." I have to disagree. I think it's very easy to be green.
How to be green.
But the good kind, not the ogre kind.
Being green means to be friendly to the environment. Here are some great ideas to help you be more green. Tip 1. Reduce, reuse, and recycle every day. Find simple ways to reduce the amount of trash we throw away. Use cloth towels instead of paper towels.
Thanks.
Did you know that 27 million trees a year are destroyed when we use paper towels?
Doesn't that bother you?
Don't throw away things that you or someone else can use again. Find a way to reuse it, like toys, games, or clothes.
Oh, that's great.
Make sure to put cans, bottles, newspapers, and plastic containers in the recycling bin every week, not the trash can. Just by recycling one aluminum can, you save enough energy to run your television for 3 hours.
Really?
Tip 2. Conserve water. Even though most of the Earth's surface is covered with water, only a small percentage of that water is fresh water. Because of this, we need to use as little water as possible. How do we do this? Take shorter showers. A 10-minute shower uses 100 gallons of water. A 2-minute shower only uses 20 gallons of water.
I do it all the time.
When you're in the bathroom, don't leave the water running when you're brushing your teeth or washing your face. Brushing your teeth with the water on uses 10 gallons, but brushing your teeth with the water off uses a half a gallon.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Tip 3. Use energy wisely. It's a good idea for everyone to cut back on pollution and try and use less energy. How can we use less energy? Turn the lights out. If you turn off the lights and the TV when you're not in the room, they'll last longer and save energy.
I knew I should have got that warranty.
Walk more and drive less.
Why don't you guys go ahead? I'll park the car.
If you can, walk, ride a bike, or skateboard. If you must drive, bring a friend and use the carpool lane. Lower your thermostat. During the winter, try and find new ways to stay warm. Wear more clothes.
You know, you really need to get yourself a pair of jammies.
Or find other ways to keep warm. Did you know that if we all turned our heat down just 6 degrees in the winter, we'd save 500,000 barrels of oil each day? Okay, now for something special. I'm gonna share with you Shrek's favorite way of recycling. We're gonna build a worm compost.
You gonna do what? A worm what?
A worm compost. When you're done with dinner and you still have some leftover food on your plate, don't throw it away. Save it for your compost and let worms eat your leftovers. In the process, the worms will provide you with one of the best fertilizers available.
Totally oois. Yeah, totally.
Step 1. Have an adult help you cut the top off a plastic 2-liter bottle where it begins to curve in. Step 2. Add a layer of soil to the bottom of your bottle. Step 3. Add a layer of organic kitchen waste to the top. You don't need a lot. Step 4. Have an adult help you poke the side of the bottle with scissors to create small holes for air. Step 5. Moisten the mini compost pile by spraying it with water. Step 6. Now add your worms and watch them feast. Then you can use that soil to grow your own vegetables or plant a garden.
I grow daffodils, and they're beautiful.
Now for the most important tip. Tell everyone how great it is to be green. Tell your friends everything you've learned about being green. The more people who know, the more we can do to help our environment. Now get on out there and help everyone by being green and sharing your knowledge.